birds of fortune are drift above the sky.
Right, so today we're going to be taking a look at DNA Design's DK-01 Devastator upgrade kit with the prowl head. And this is, as you can see, for Combiner Wars retail, SDCC, and Takara Tomy versions of the Devastator kit. Although I'm not sure the SDCC version is going to be a great match because it has all that chromed out purple, and this does not. Your purple hands might not match. But it's a good kit. Let's take a look at it. Oh, and also stay tuned for the end because I'm going to have a contest. Contest. Included in the package you have all of these bits and bobs here. Shoulders, hands, Mixmaster, cab, and a light up head. So I'll go through all those pieces in a while. By the way, this is the only piece... Oh, it doesn't include Devastator. Yeah, be aware guys that this box here, in case you pick it up on the shelf and think Devastator's inside, he is not. He is not included inside this box. That may be misleading if you're not smart. But, you know, I guess I have to put that. This, by the way, is the only picture of Mixmaster in vehicle mode, in alt mode. You will not see this in instructions, to my frustration, as we will see. So let's get into it. So here's what you get inside the box. It's just secured in the clamshell by this piece of film, which just peels off and sets it to one side. So here are the pair of hands, the pair of shoulders, pair of wrists, alternate head, and the Mixmaster cab, inside of which there is a bag of accessories. So just some cover plates and stuff that we'll show when we get there. And there's his alternate faceplate. I didn't realize the teeth were painted, which is a nice touch. So let's take a look at the head first. This mask here is supposed to represent Prowl from the IDW comics. If you don't want to hear the storyline, skip ahead because I'm going to explain what that is. For those of you who don't know, an IDW scrapper was killed, and Prowl ended up taking his place. Prowl merged with Devastator for reasons I forget. But he formed the head, and he's taken over as leader of the Constructicons that kind of follow him around. Because I guess they're not Decepticons anymore. I'm not going to use it. I personally don't like it. I think it's a nice representation of what it is, but I don't want Prowl in my Devastator. I want chocolate in my peanut butter. You can flip the visor up, and it looks like that. Let's show you Prowl with eyes, and if you open this up, you can put it back down, and Prowl with visor. Wait, that didn't quite clip down all the way. There. And Prowl with a visor. Looks good, but I'm never going to use it. So there's an LED in the head. Flip this up and then flip the visor up. You can then pry his face off. I'm going to take his face off. I did. So that's there for the light piping. You can see the electronics there for the LED. Let's put this face back on. So we're not going to use it just yet. Close this up. Yeah, this is a nice little clip here. And if you get this flipped out, that's kind of cool how it attaches onto the neck post. You can clip it in and then set it down so it doesn't come loose. Quite ingenious, I think. So here are the wrists. This is the bottom, this is the top. Oh, sorry, this is the bottom. You open this up, slide it on, peg it on like the old one, clip this in to cover the bottom. I'm going to show you all that though. Hand. Very nice joints in the hand. The plastic feels good and smooth and solid too. So ball joint down here and then hinges and all pinned together. Really nice. Oh man, after playing with those not fans, this is a delight. There's the connectors so they can swing open a little bit by the look of it. These are just the pegs when it goes into, if you want to stick it onto the long haul's back for some reason. This is a filler peg. No, sorry, this is for the gun to attach to. Because Devastator's gun has a slot. No, it fits into the other hands like this. But for this guy, you can he doesn't have a closed fist necessarily, so you slide it on attached to this gray piece, which again I think is quite clever. That's a good way to accomplish that, and it's not obtrusive. This looks great. That looks much more convincing than anything I've seen so far. And the color is almost an exact match. This kit is slightly darker. Just slightly. Alright, here's Devastator. I've got him in a pretty plain, just upright pose. I decided that was best to show off the proportions. So you can see now over here is the stock arm with the not enough hand that I put on it, and then over here this is the new kit that's been put on. So you can see it's actually an extension of the arm, makes it longer. Now, which proportion is more human-like? That's hard to say. A lot of people complain about arm length on Transformers, but it's important to remember that on a human being, when you stand and have your arm at your side, your hand rests at about halfway down your thigh. So, let's see, I guess the knee would be about here on Devastator, so I guess that is more proportion. Maybe this was a bit too small. So here's the original hand that just slots in. This is just, I've just painted this purple as I mentioned in another video. So here's your stock parts, except that I have a hole drilled in mine. Normally the way this works is that you flip this around. The hand is slotted in here, so you flip it around and it hides in there. So the new hand actually works the same way. You would just slide this out, take the new hand, it has the same disc except that it has a hinge on it. So you would slide this in to the old piece until it clicks, easy enough. And you can still compact this hand up and spin it around so that it stores like it always did. The difference is that you now have this extra piece. So what happens here is this actually gets hidden in combined mode. I'm going to put the hand back the way it was. Now what happens is you have this piece that you turn here. And these actually fit together. So this just slides on top. So the peg that went into Devastator's arm now goes into this hole, and it has its own peg which will go into Devastator's arm. So that just ties together like that. And then you peg it on, and this part extends and connects into the little slot here of the wrist to lock it in place. I'm going to actually turn this around just to hide that hinge. I just like the closed side of it better. So this is how his hand would be. You can see it's got the tab for the gun. You can remove this or just leave it there if you want him to have it left-handed. I'm going to take this one out because I don't think he'll be having a gun in his left hand. It's nice that they gave you two. Okay, so that's how the hand will be. Oh, before I attach it all, let's just take a look at this non-of hand here. It's pretty close in size. I think the palm, the actual hand itself is larger on this kit than the non-of one, but the fingers are about the same length. Maybe a touch longer on this IDW kit. Just a bit. Thumb is about the same. The thumb is a bit bigger on the non-of kit. So there's not a dramatic difference in size of the hand there. Compared to his original stock hand though, it's about the same size. I'd say it's roughly the same size hand, with just more articulate, slender thumb and fingers. So let me show you how this attaches, just in case. So yeah, this just slides over, and then you can see this is cut out for articulation, and then it just plugs right on there with a new peg. Trying to get this shown off. Hopefully I have enough light with all the black material. Yeah, so you can see that the new peg is going to... There's the old peg sticking through the upgrade part. The new peg will go in there, and then this will fold down, extend, and tab in to the wrist. Sorry about the shaky cam. Trying to do this with one hand. My tripod is not very tall. Alright, so now we've got both arms attached. Let's put the gun in this one. Just because of the shape of the machines, this one can go up a little higher. This one butts up against the cab of the excavator. But pretty good. I think that's a good improvement, and also it makes it look nicer on the underside. You get these cool sort of pistons, which I think looks nice. But now I feel like I want to paint the details here. On the Takara version, there's a silver stripe across here. This band is painted, and this circular part. Since there's nice detail painted on this upgrade kit, I think I'm going to take a silver marker and paint these 5 round bits and maybe these pipes on the side, just to match it up a little bit. Now to operate on the head, you just need your standard number 0 screwdriver. You just have to remove the screw from the back here, which is a bit tight. But I'm a very mighty human being, so I was able to remove that screw. So take that out. We'll separate this carefully. This is going to fall out, that's okay. Alright. And we can see that the batteries just go in here. Okay. And so the spring, we should have, let's see, I think we want positive on the spring. Let's try that. Yes. So put the flat part, the positive end, on the spring, and the rounded bit on the nub. And then we'll just... That's pretty nice. The tiny LEDs are right there on the circuit board. Whoa! Spooky, man. Then we'll just hang this back in here, and I think that is all we have to do. Yeah. Squeeze it back together and screw it back together. Easy peasy. Instructions, a little Chinesey. I hope that's not offensive. Oh, that's okay. That looks pretty awesome. I like it. Let's flip his visor down now. Pretty cool. Now let's prowlify him. Let's be careful with these little posts because the instructions told me to. Ooh, visor prowl. On camera, it's showing up a bit more piercing through the visor. It's a bit more diffused in real life. Let's pop this. Pop these up. And there's Prowl with eyes. Or Devastator, as he's affectionately known. That's pretty good. Turn off the lights. And
turn off the lights and I'll close.
Yeah, I like that. It's gonna look great with the snarling face too. Oh yeah. Oh, yes indeed. This is cool. This might scare my children. I like it. I like it a lot. Ooh. The original Devastator head that they put on this was gonna be pretty hard to beat. I like the original one, but this is really cool. I think that's a great head. So it's good that they didn't really change much. Let's just put them side by side, because 2 heads are better than 1. It's off now. Just for a side by side comparison. Well, let's get the visor. I don't know if I like the visor or not. He just appeared with and without it, kind of at random. So there's a side by side. I'm glad they didn't change it dramatically. Alright, so let's change his face while I'm at this. Let's take his face off. Put this angry snarling face on, because we haven't seen what that looks like yet. Angry snarling with the visor? Sure, that's pretty good. And here's the neck plate, so you just have to make sure this is down. And it just clips onto here. Okay, so I just had to hold that a bit closer to my body while I snapped that on in place. So then to attach it, and then we just have to plug it in. Looks like this is the front. Oh, it just plugs in there. Okay, I know that looks a bit loose, but I just had to get two hands on it because it sort of slides into a part in the back too. So that plate is pretty secure and fairly seamless. Seems to work just fine. Let's try the lights. Ooh, yeah, look at you. So that is pretty menacing. I like it. He looks devastatingly good. So it comes with these knee pads. Most of the kits have knee pads, so you can just plug in here if you want to. I guess that's better. I don't really care about it. Those didn't really bother me, but they're there if you want to fill them in. And then this goes on the back for long haul. By the way, the plastic on the camera is coming up a bit mismatched. It's because I'm shooting in HDR, but it looks more cohesive in person. Even the original pieces here, you can see the difference is a bit more pronounced. So this piece here is for underneath the dump truck of long haul. Try to get a shot. There's two slots there, and this just faces back and plugs in here. So that's just to hold his wings. If you were to transform him, these wings come off, and you can stick them together and clip them into that little piece on the bottom of the dump truck if you want to store them there while he's in alt mode. These little knee pieces also, if you want to take those out, you can store them on long haul as well, because long haul is really earning his pay as the materials transport Constructicon. So those, when he's transformed, his legs would be here and they'd plug into his legs. You can see that here in the instructions, that's where those go if you want to. And again, there's the piece we just added so that you can attach the wings underneath if you would like to do that. And everything else collapses up and stores on his back. So long haul carries everything, and on the sides he carries the shoulders. Alright, so for the silly Mixmaster mode, this cab has to attach onto here. It does so by way of the pegs on the silver part here, pegging into the side of the cab. Now, I found that when it transforms, these parts have to slide. You can see the sliding rail it has. You untab it from here, on the top, and then these should be able to slide. I found these really tight. I couldn't get them to slide. I had to loosen these screws off just a bit. Even the screws in there really tightly, so it took a bit of effort. Now that I got them off, they can slide around, and I think this is going to be the best way. The instructions just show you just plopping it on here, so let's see if we can do it now. See, the instructions for Mixmaster is this. It just says put it on. Alright, finally worked this out. This brings me to a massive oversight in the instructions. Now, unless I missed something, and I don't think I have, the only instructions here to install Mixmaster's component is here. It just says stick it on, but it's not that simple. The transformation shows you, starting here, fold these things in, fold these little stacks in, okay, and then swivel them down, and this is how to transform him into a robot. Okay, fine, that's great. The glaring oversight is it doesn't show you the beginning mode. It doesn't show you how to get the cab on, and maybe instead of this big huge glamour shot of Mixmaster, we could have shown you what it's supposed to look like in alt mode. It doesn't ever show you the truck in alt mode. What I finally figured out was that these are supposed to hang down here, because every time I try to transform it, this thing was buttoned up all over the place. I thought it was supposed to hook back here. I don't know. Finally, I realized that this is broken. I tried to take these wheels off at some point and snapped this, so all my wheels are loose. Okay, so what happens, this is in alt mode, this part, okay, so this is to fold away when you transform it. But in alt mode, this is supposed to go all the way around down here to the front and be opened up. So then this pegs in like that. So it wraps around to give you a bit more truck, which looks good. I do like the end result. I just wish I knew that that's what I was supposed to do. It does look good. I do like it. Now you can have him driving backwards to look more like a conventional mixer instead of this modern style weirdness. So then to transform it, you fold this in on both sides, and then when this, I'll just do one side, when you untab it from up the top here, by the way, as well as the peg, it was also the silver part clipped on. Let me get this untabbed here. Okay, so now if we want to transform him into a robot, we slide this down, but also this swings around. So it says you're supposed to do this. That's how it goes. And then that hangs there. So that's pretty good. I didn't do the other side, but that's how it goes. Let's do it actually. Let's fold it in. Double hinge. Got to untap. So this can tuck away like that and slide down out of the way, and that works fine. So there's robot mode Mixmaster with his added part hanging off the back, which is no big deal because he's got this hang off the back anyway. So I just found out there is another set of pegs, or peg holes. So this is when you're in alt mode. When you're in bot mode, you can use these holes here and peg those into place so that these aren't, so these are secure and not flopping around. So that is actually what he would look like in a proper robot mode. Here's Mixmaster in the foot mode. Looks pretty good. Because the wheels aren't holding up the whole cab in this mode, that means that that sort of pointy bit down the bottom swung around to the back and stores here, so the whole thing sits nicely flat on the ground, looking more G1, which is great. And then moving up to the shoulders, you can see I've got the I've installed one of the shoulder joints. So now the whole robot, you got Bone Crusher here, he moves around entirely instead of just moving on this joint, freeing up the tracks. That works pretty well. It's just got some pipes that feed into Long Haul's tire or wheel for some reason. That's okay, the pipes are match the aesthetic from under the forearm there. So it looks pretty good. And here's the other piece. So I'll show you how this installs. So let's remove Scavenger here. Before Scavenger plugged in, as you may, you'll know if you own this, of course, but it plugs in on there, and then the Long Haul's wrist tabs into there, and then the wing on the chest here sticks into these two ports here. So instead, what we'll do is we'll install this. I've got to spread these track legs apart here, and then this fits into, this is now going into the combiner port, like that, and then the tracks now will peg into the inside here, will peg into here, there's a tab here, peg that in there, and then another tab here on these, then tab in. So now Scavenger is connected to the shoulder, so we won't use this joint anymore. This will just sit in place. There's nothing that secures it, but that's okay. So now the new joint is here, like that. And again, it's really good feeling plastic. Oh look, they've even painted his armpit. That looks really nice actually. This is a different color plastic. This is kind of gray, this is black. There's more paint down here. You can see a spring even in the ratchet. A really nice quality kit. So this is going to go into the combiner port now, and then the chest wing will tab into there. Let me show you that. So this arm's just going to hang out of the way, kind of. Just put it there for now. So this will just plug right under there. Just get this out of the way a little bit. Oop, head fell off. Just down there, tab that in. Let's check the other side. Yep, all good. That's it. Oh, these also move forward. I've just noticed that's what that gray plastic is for. This one's a bit stuck, but does it do the same? Yeah, it's just plugged in there. But yeah, so his arms can also do that now. I didn't realize that. You can have him reach in. And flex. Oh, and that gives him some nice posability. I should put the head back on because that looks funny. Flex. Yeah, and also I forgot to mention the head. You can look up now. I don't know when Devastator would need to look up, but at least it's an extra point of movement that he didn't have before. So this is really cool. You know, there's one piece I wasn't sure I was going to use. Oh, I wasn't sure if I was going to use the shoulders on this kit, actually. I just mostly wanted the hands and the something for Mixmaster. But, and I really don't care about those knee holes, but that's really nice. I'm really enjoying the extra range of movement that it gives him. So this makes his shoulders sit higher. So now, you know what I was saying before about the length of the arms, the proportions, is going to be different. So now his hands reach about there in a fist, just below the waist. I think either way is proportionate. Probably this is better. This kit moves the shoulders up a little bit and out from the body. So before, I guess he had a bigger. This gives him more of a triangular. This gives him more of a triangular torso, whereas before he had quite a blocky rectangular torso. So there's an overall look. Sorry, he doesn't quite fit for my filming area, but there's a look at him. Great looking kit. Yeah, I gotta say, now that I see it on him in person, I'm really happy with it. So before he had kind of a blocky torso, more of a rectangle. This way, this gives him kind of more of a triangle. You know, it looks like he's been working out, I guess. I don't know. Pretty good. I like it. So as far as final thoughts, I recommend it. My only complaint would be I wish the head locked in a little bit better, but I think I can fiddle with that. It's another point of articulation to be able to look up. Not often you'd want him to look up unless he's leaning over, I guess, but it's nice that you can do it. That will sit there. That sits better. I just didn't bother. It's a really nice kit. I do recommend it if you want your Devastator to look a bit more bulky or more articulate and have a nicer looking Mixmaster foot. Looks really great. I ordered mine from chimungmung.com, and that's a site I recommend. They have a lot of good third-party stuff. Really good service. The shipping is right there on the item, at least the estimate anyway, and my estimates have always been, that's always been pretty much what I paid. I don't think it's ever been off. I'll put the link for Chimungmung down there. So, contest. I don't have a lot to give away, as, you know, this is a small, just channel I do in my spare time. But, a lot of Transformers toys take these little button cell batteries. If you need some batteries, I'll send you some batteries. So what I'd like you to do is, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't already, leave a comment on this video. And if you leave a comment and then send me your address by YouTube message or use the Facebook page for Dendrix Hideout. And so I can get your address in private, I will send you some batteries. Now, not to mislead you, they are not the batteries for this kit. I thought they were at first, but they're not. So, Devastator here takes these type of batteries, the AG3 LR41s. But what I have here, due to an order mistake, is a whole box of LR621 AG1 batteries. And I'm going to give you a pack of these. So, like I said, leave a comment, subscribe, and then once I get your address, I'll send you a pack of AG1 batteries, pack of 10. And you can use those. I think I used these in the Fans Toys weapons. I know I used them for something Transformers related. I think it was Fans Toys weapons. So let's say within Canada and US, anywhere in North America, I'll send you pack batteries for free. Elsewhere in the world, it depends on the shipping. If the shipping is not expensive, I will send you those batteries too. And these batteries are what you want for Devastator, though. They are not included in this kit. But Devastator, you're happy with your batteries, aren't you? Yes, they work great. And what do you think about people who don't subscribe to my channel?
Prepare to meet your doom. Nothing can withstand the might of Devastator.
Yes, it blows my mind too. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching these videos, and check out my channel for more. I really appreciate all the views and all the subscribers. So, bye for now.